Hi, I'm Blake.
And I'm Roxanne, and this is CHOW Tour Portland.
Portland takes its sandwich making seriously, and there are a ton of great places to get a good one. We visited 2 restaurants that specialize in handcrafted sandwich meats, starting at Olympic Provisions, where we met up with saloonist Elias Cairo.
First and foremost, we're all handmade meats, and meats are what we do, and we find that to be a very key element to all sandwiches. We also have Oregon's first USDA licensed curing facility, so we do all dry fermented, naturally molded, and really handcrafted salumi. The majority of it is from whole animal. We keep all of our sandwiches simple. We don't want to overload any of our sandwiches with 20 ingredients. Butter on both sides, of course. Mustard on the bottom. And the soppressata, the salami that we're using. Super simple, lots of garlic, chili flake, red wine, and you can see plenty of fat in the salami. We load it up as much as possible. Voila, sandwich.
The sandwich was loaded with meat, and the butter was an awesome touch. It was sweet and creamy, and a really nice contrast with the salty soppressata.
Then we went to Kenny and Zuke's and spoke to owner Ken Gordon.
I'm Jewish. I grew up in New York City. I was used to going to delis. That was our go-to meal when I'd go out with my dad. So it was really kind of returning to, not only returning to deli's roots, but returning to mine. The real mark of how a deli has traditionally been judged is, you know, they have a big menu, all of their food can be good, but it's their pastrami that really counts. We get in the briskets about 1,500 to 1,800 pounds a week. We immerse it in a brine that's made with salt and spices and garlic and sugar. We let it sit in the brine for about a week, and then we take it out of the brine, we coat it with spices. In our case, it's ground pepper and ground coriander. It smokes for about 10 hours, and then we steam it for about another 2 or 3 hours before serving it. People look at us and they think that we're doing something kind of new and unique, but in fact we're doing all of these things pretty much the way they were done 100 years ago. And there used to be thousands of delis that actually did it this way, and now I think there are about 5 places in North America that either are still or are now making their own pastrami.
We wanted to try the pastrami, so of course we ordered a Reuben.
What makes a good Reuben? Good bread. We're using our own rye bread, which is really, I think, really good. It needs lots of Russian dressing. That adds to the moistness and the flavor of it. Good pastrami has to be tender. We slice it a little thicker than people are used to, but slicing it that way, if it's tender, is better because it holds in a lot of the juices and a lot of the flavors. We buttered the outside, which is, you know, butter and meat, and it's not a traditional thing in a deli. It's not kosher. On the other hand, my background is French cooking, so butter has its place here.
The Reuben was buttery and golden brown on the outside, the pastrami was spicy, tender, and subtly smoky, and the sweet Russian dressing was the perfect complement.